Hello and thank you for watching County Highlights. I'm your host, Melody Kitchen. Today we're here to discuss a very important thing here in Newcastle County when the bad weather comes. I'm here today with Chief Dennis Godek, and we're going to discuss a few tips on fire safety. Thank you so much for being here today.
It's my pleasure.
Now, to begin with, around this time of year, the bad weather starts hitting it, and we have a lot of people, out there in the county, citizens, that don't really understand how important fire safety is. Being this time of year, a lot of people have their heaters on at home. It's very dry. And I know that you came in specifically to touch on the fact that, fire hydrants tend to be hidden from sight.
That's correct.
What would you like to tell the citizens of Newcastle County?
Well, what we're asking the citizens to do, the Newcastle County Fire Chiefs Association, on behalf of all the fire companies in Newcastle County, are asking all of the residents of Newcastle County to adopt a fire hydrant during this next storm, and hopefully during subsequent snowstorms in particular, when not only accumulating snow will obscure hydrants, but even more importantly, because of where most fire hydrants are located, as plows come by, it pushes more snow up in front of and around the fire hydrants, making them completely inaccessible to us.
Right.
Valuable time can be wasted by us when we're responding to an emergency. We do have maps. A lot of our folks are familiar with where hydrants are, but we have maps that show us, but they show us the corner or the location in the street, and if they're covered by snow, it is very time consuming at a very inopportune time to try to have to dig those hydrants out.
And also, I don't think, anybody out there could argue with the fact that walking an extra 4 to 5 feet from their car versus parking in front of the fire hydrant because there's snow on it and it doesn't matter anyway, would be worth it when that house next door to yours sets on fire, or your house sets on fire.
Absolutely. There was a serious fire overnight in the Christiana Fire District. Our fire apparatus only carries a certain amount of water.
Right.
So whenever there is a fire that requires a large amount of water, we need to supplement that with the water from the hydrant. And if that fire last night had occurred tonight or tomorrow night, and either cars were blocking the hydrants or the snow was allowed to accumulate around it, it could have really, really made a difference in terms of not only the property that we're trying to save, but lives as well.
Right.
So what we're asking folks to do is to start early in the storm and to try to keep an area about 5 feet around the hydrant open, especially the area between the hydrant and the street.
Right.
And that will allow us, and if we start early in the storm, it's not as much of a burden on folks. We don't want folks who can't physically shovel snow or shouldn't physically shovel snow doing that. Hopefully neighbors will pick in.
Yes.
But we're not just asking homeowners to do this. We're asking folks that reside in apartment complexes or apartment buildings elsewhere, any place where they're close to a hydrant. If they can get it open for us and accessible, it would be very helpful to us in our efforts to help them.
Right. And, to even go a step further, to touch on times, maybe where there isn't snow blocking the view, but I know that sometimes people like to put decorative bushes or plants around the fire hydrant because maybe they don't like the way it looks.
Absolutely.
And I think we should probably mention something about that as well.
And thank you for reminding me of that. It does become a problem. Folks, we understand. Looking at that big yellow thing sitting in your front yard can be an annoyance when you take care of your property really well. It's not necessarily just that the hydrant is there and that we know it's there. We need access all the way around that hydrant to use the equipment we use. We don't have time to go into all the reasons for that, but it's not just having the 3 connections on that hydrant accessible to us. We need space around that hydrant in order to use it to its maximum efficiency.
Absolutely. Now, while I have you here, I just want to thank you and thank the men and women that work with you on behalf of Newcastle County for all the work that our firefighters do, our volunteers do, local fire companies and fire chiefs every day to keep people safe, keep their homes safe. And I can't thank you enough for coming in today.
Well, the members of the fire companies in Newcastle County love what they do. And it's our honor to serve the public, and we appreciate the support we get from Newcastle County.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching County Highlights. I'm your host, Melody Kitchen. I'd just like to remind everyone at home to have a safe winter. Make sure you listen to what the chief said and keep your fire hydrants clear. And we'll have a wonderful 2016. Thank you.